Hello and welcome to Three Questions with my buddy David, the 603 Realtor with us today. Hey, David, welcome to the show.
Hi, Kevin. Thank you for having me here. I'm stoked.
So David asked you to come on the show today to offer a little advice for home buying. So why don't we start at the beginning? What's the first step that a buyer should do when they're going to buy a home?
The first step is learning about the process. There's so many people that just jump in and start looking at homes and they don't understand how any of it works because they're excited and they're happy, especially if they're first-time home buyers, right? But my mom always used to say, Kevin, the turtle wins the race, not the hare. So slow down just a little bit. Contact a local, trusted real estate professional like myself. I'm going to say, so what would you like? And we're going to have a nice conversation. Nothing, too crazy. It usually lasts between 20 and 30 minutes. And then I just say, that's great. Here's the market conditions. And are you pre-approved or will you be going cash? Most people, especially first-time home buyers, and just most people in general, are not paying cash. They're getting a mortgage. So the first thing I'm going to help them do after I understand what they want, help them understand the market and the transaction, is get them that pre-approval. Because if they don't have a pre-approval or a pre-qualification letter from a local, reputable, and trusted mortgage lender, they're window shopping. It's like going to the Tanger outlets up in Tilton and leaving your wallet in the car. But it's like that with houses when you don't have that letter. And then once, they understand the process, the market, what they want, the time it takes, and they have the financing, then they're really ready to rock and roll. And that's the first step of the home buying process. And it's as simple as just taking your phone and calling Mr. 603, me.
So David, one of the things I've seen lately is that it's really great if you're trying to sell your home and you have all sorts of multiple offers. But it's also really overwhelming because the tendency is to like, all right, who offered me the most money? But sometimes that's not the best offer, right?
Correct. Let's face it, Kevin. In this market, you really can't underprice your home. You can overprice it, even though that's pretty difficult to do, but you can't underprice it. I'm being a little satirical here. You price it at $1, the market's going to bid it up where it should be. There's just that much real demand. So it's not hard to sell your home and get it under contract. That's step one, and that's pretty easy. So then sometimes sellers go to say, well, then what's the benefit of an agent or a good agent? And it's like, okay, this is the benefit. When you get 20, 30, 40, 50 offers, do you know how to analyze them, or are you just going to look at price? So whatever is the highest. Because I can write on a $500,000 property, $1 million offer, and that looks really great on paper, but not if you don't get to the closing table and you don't see that paper yourself, right? At Keeler Family Realtors, I work very closely with Jeff Keeler. He's been practicing real estate for a little over 45 years.
Wow.
There are very little professionals, I think maybe a handful, still practicing in the industry with that experience. Where I work very closely with Jeff at his company, Keeler Family Realtors, right? We sit down and we go over these offers. There's lots of other good agents out there that can, do the drone flyover and all this stuff, and that's wonderful. But in this market, when you get the home under contract and you have 20, 30 offers to review, you want one of the oldest firms in New Hampshire going through all those abundance of offers with you, or do you want someone else? And it's fine if they want someone else, but if they truly want to understand those offers and what it means to them at the end of the day, then they're going to go with myself and Keeler Family Realtors.
Makes sense. So David, we're coming into, I guess, the proverbial spring market. What does that mean? You hear that expression, oh, the spring market, but what does it mean and what's going to happen in the spring market?
Yeah, so the spring market is different geographically. In New England. The spring market is the big to-do, if you will, for buyers and sellers, because during the holiday season and in the winter in New England, no one really wants to be out and about, especially in the freezing cold. No one likes moving in, a couch and then slipping on some ice, so to speak, right? So when that warm weather rolls around, the listings start to go up. And that means there's more inventory. Now, we are in a housing crisis. That's not going away anytime soon. But in the winter, a lot of sellers just aren't listing at all. So this was a very hard winter for a lot of buyers, especially when you may only have the opportunity to look at a handful of things. So the spring market, brings those, nice flowers and stuff, but also brings more homes for buyers to shop for. And it's still tough, but at least they're going to have a little bit more options and start dreaming again. The weather's going to be nice. They're going to be able to get out there and start dreaming and eventually get under contract and in a place. Now, on the benefit to the sell side, yeah, sure, you have some more inventory coming to market, but that's when you have all the buyers come out too, because now they're ready to rock and roll. The sun's out, guns out. They're ready to go see some houses. So in a market like this, it's really prudent, as long as the seller's in a position to do so, a comfortable position to do so, to list in the spring market, because the market goes in different flows. It's not the static thing that a lot of people is. The holidays in the winter, like, it's down, right? And in the spring, it spikes way up. And then, it starts to dwindle down. And every year, even in a tough market like this, we usually get an occasional, summer lull. In the middle of the summer, July, August, people are like, hey, let's go to the beach, right? And then you get another spike, and that's fall, right before the holidays, where things die down. So your two big spikes is, number one, the spring market, and number two, the fall. It's crucial that if a seller is going to sell their real estate, that they understand this. Because if they sell in the spring, generally speaking, when the market's way up here, they're going to get a higher price versus Christmas, where the market's going to be here. So that's why the spring market's so exciting for both buyers and sellers. Buyers are going to have more homes to look at, and sellers are going to be able to get top dollar, generally speaking, in the spring versus in the entire year.
So David, what's the best way to reach out to you? How can people learn more?
The best way people can reach out to me is to text or call my cell at 603-520-7924. I am Mr. 603. So anyone can type in the 603 Realtor on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube. I will come up on Instagram. I'm usually the number one that comes up if you type in New Hampshire Realtor, the 603 Realtor. And then they can just shoot me a DM. I don't bite. I like to tell, buyers and sellers, hey, I get it. You might not be ready to do it right now, but you're doing the right thing and reaching out to gain knowledge. So there's no pressure, and I can communicate with them whatever way they like.
Awesome, David. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to come on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you for having me, Kevin.